Hi, my name's John. Welcome to another Sunday night nightcap. Tonight's nightcap has got, once again, quite a variety of things in. I do some machining. I machine some copper. Actually make some copper washers for Richard's steam wagon. Big, heavy, thick copper washers. Copper's strange stuff to machine. It's a little bit like trying to machine rubber. Anyway, we'll get them done. I'll show you how to soften copper, how to anneal it. I do a little fabrication job for work. I'm busy repairing a trailer for one of our customers. I do a little bit of work on some box section to fasten the trailer hitch onto. I'll show you a little bit of that. I've got my grandson Brett stopping again. He's going to do the draw for this week's prize, which is the Kennedy dial indicator. A real nice one. I've been using it this week. It really is a nice gauge to use. So Brett's going to come and do that.
Hi, my name's Brett and I'm John's oldest grandson. And once again, he has asked me to do the raffle, but this time for this clock age. And the winning name is... It actually sounds like a drum roll. This one's really folded up. Does that say Phil Stevenson?
Look. It says Phil Stevenson. That was great, Brett, thanks very much. I'll make sure I get this in the post this next week. I'm going to do another raffle or another prize draw this week. This time it's going to be for another dial indicator. This is a battery indicator, Imperial, quite a nice one. I've also been using it this week, it works fine. Really is a nice indicator. I was in two minds to keep it myself, but it was donated by a viewer to be raffled, so raffled it will be. If you want to go at winning the dial indicator, all you have to do is send me an email. That's my email up there. Send an email in with your name on. Your name is drawn out the bucket by Brett or whoever. If your name's drawn out, I'll post it off anywhere in the world. If your name isn't drawn out, it remains in the bucket until it is drawn out or whatever happens to the bucket. This is the clock gauge for this week's giveaway. It's a battery clock gauge, Imperial. Bob's had his hands on it and made it work again. It really is a nice gauge. It's only 50 thou, so it's quite a nice fine calibration. It's also got a mountain lug on the back. I had a visit this morning from Richard. Richard called in to drop one or two bits and pieces off that he needs machining, and he also had a present for us. Quite a nice present as well. I'll get a close-up shot of this. It's a rev counter, an analog rev counter that works. It does need some work done on it, and I'm sure once again my friend Bob will be able to do it for us. Mentioning Bob, as you know, Bob does repair clock gauges. If you have a clock gauge you want repairing, email me and I can put you in touch with Bob. He does do quite a lot of work like that, and his work's first class. Anyway, so if you want any repair work done on dial gauges, just email us and I'll put you in touch with Bob direct and you can deal with him. This is the present that Richard brought for us. As you can see, it's an analog rev counter. It's in reasonable condition, but it does need a new. There's no plastic in the front, no lens in the front. There's one little driving thing. I think there's three things. There should be three different types of drive, but it does work. So it'll be quite a nice addition to the workshop. I'll be able to get some RPMs off my steam engine and check speeds and feed rates on various machines I've got. Anyway, Richard, thanks very much. It's something I will certainly use and I'll certainly look after it. I put some video up through the week of Beamish opening their museum, the Steam Gala. That had a lot of views, that went down quite well. tomorrow being Easter Monday, I'm going to go to T's Cottage pumping station. They have a big beam engine there, and I think there's 1 or 2 traction engines running outside. So that's where I'll be tomorrow afternoon. If anybody wants to come and have a look, be well worth having a look. It's an interesting place. I'll take the camera and I'll get some video. It was strange when I was at Beamish last weekend. There was quite a few viewers come up to say hello, which I think is absolutely fantastic. There was a lot of people looking at us, and I think they wanted to say hello, but for some reason it didn't. Anyway, if you see me, you recognise me, I'm always happy to just shake your hand. Anyway, thanks very much. We've been doing some work on Richard's steam wagon at the weekend, and we need some copper washers making. The original copper washers are slightly too small, so I need to make some copper washers that are a good fit in those threads. This is the bit of copper pipe that I softened, so soft it's gone. Heated it up and annealed it, made it nice and soft. Ideally to soften copper or anneal copper, you need to get it to a cherry red and then let it cool. You can't quench it, remove any scale, but let it cool, softens it just the same. It's just a bit of copper pipe I've put up just to get some flat copper. But really it's not thick enough. So I've been to see my friend Peter and I've managed to get a bit of thicker copper plate. This is fully hard. What I intended doing was making the die and stamping them out, but I've only got to make 4. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a hole saw to cut the washers out. I've already tried it, I've already cut one. Then I can put these in the lathe, machine them up, soften them, and that'll be the job done. So I'm going to leave this hard, because it's easier to machine when it's hard. When it's soft like that, you can imagine it gets very teary to machine, but that will be ideal to stamp the washers out of. These hole saws must be run very slow. I'm simply going to let the workpiece jam across there. Don't be tempted to hold it with your hand, make sure you either jam it or clamp it. That's a pilot drill through. A bit of cotton oil. Gentle pressure, and you can see it's cutting. You've got to be careful because this will get hot very quickly. It's actually cutting quite nicely for copper. Copper's very strange stuff to work with. Nice gentle pressure and it does cut quite nicely. It's starting to warm up there, so we'll leave it to cool for a little bit. I've got the washers mounted on just on a quarter bolt. To get them turned down to size. We'll be very careful because it is not nice stuff at all to the machine. We need a really sharp tool. That's just about it. A little bit more. Next thing is to make the centre hole bigger. Unfortunately the hole in the through hole in the chuck's too big, the washer will go straight through. So what I can do just to line them up, I'll put a parallel in there. Just push them up against the parallel. Nip the chuck up. We'll take the parallel out. And that's held nicely in place. Now it's a simple case of drilling and probably boring that hole to the correct size. Hoping that they don't move. Right, so that's managed to line the initial hole up. Try a 2-foot milling cutter just to get a hole through so I can get my boring bar in. And that seems to be doing quite a nice job. Right, I've now got a decent sized hole through them all. We'll bore them out to the right size, which is actually 19mm. You can grip quite tightly in this self-centering 4-jaw chuck without deforming them. Now it's just putting less direct pressure on than a 3-jaw chuck. A really sharp tool here. For all its coppers in its fairly hard state, it's still very chewy to machine, a bit like trying to machine rubber. Eighteen and a half, so it wants 1/4 mil out. It's 19mm, or as near 19mm as makes the difference. That's actually the size hole I need. Machine, you got two, and then we'll soften them. Just take that little rag off there and then soften them, or anneal them. I just want to break the nasty sharp edges on the outside. These must be the most expensive copper washers in the world. Anyway. At least they're done right. Right, time to soften them, or anneal them. You heat them up to a cherry red, then just let them cool. That makes them nice and soft. When the joints tighten together, the washer will take the shape of any imperfections on the faces. The red heat starting to come in there now. A nice cherry red, that's all you need. We've been doing some work on Richard's steam wagon this weekend, and we need to stop dropping things on the bastard floor.